Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So this week is the week. We're getting ready for BT5, and we've already had the video earlier this week about what cards we should be getting before BT5 gets here. But now I think it's time to actually go in and look at BT5. What today's video is, I'm covering all the new decks that we're going to be getting in BT5. Basically all the new kind of top tier S decks. I might mention a few of the previous ones. This isn't a full meta tier list. That will be at the end of this week, where we're going to just bring all the decks in together and rate them in one big video of which one's going to be the best and that sort of thing. This is just covering BT5 itself and the new cards that we're getting and what decks we can expect to see from this, as well as what changes could be happening to decks that are already in the meta. Also, don't forget, this month's Patreon reward is going to be Shoutmon. This is the baby form of Impmon, who is the baby form of Beelzemon and Beelstarmon. This thing is super cute, handmade out of clay by my wife. Super, super adorable, perfect memory marker. If you're going to be playing purple in BT5 using Zwart and Lilithmon Loop, that sort of stuff, he's going to be a great memory marker for that. As well as later sets, when we get Musketeers, you're going to want him for Musketeers as well, because you're going to be throwing out a lot of Impmons and Beelstarmon, maybe even Beelzemon, depending on your build. He'd be a great memory marker for that. So this is the only month to get him, so if you want to get him, make sure you check the link in the description below for Patreon. Okay, so BT5 is very cool, okay? I am loving BT5. BT4 was it had some really cool, powerful things in it, but it was very limited on the decks that we got to play that were like really meta viable or even just kind of roguish tier. There was only a few decks. I'm actually kind of thankful BT4 was so short, because BT5 has a lot of different decks to play. Yes, there's one deck that is going to be just an absolute kind of powerhouse. It was in Japan, but I think all of the other decks in the meta are very diverse. Beyond that first one, I think the next tier is just completely filled with so many different decks that we're going to be able to play. Jumping right in here at the very top, we're just going to start with red here, and we have Shoutmon. And Shoutmon is going to be the new way to play red. So if you were a fan of like Red Ragna, this is very similar to that, except imagine doing Red Ragna but only having to get into a level 6 and then you could stop there, right? You didn't have to worry about playing a whole lot of extra 6s and 7s. You could just go into your 6 and then boom, immediately start doing crazy damage. And that's kind of what Shoutmon is about here, and that's what I'm really loving about it. It's a kind of a cheaper, more evolution costed version of Ragna. So what we have here is Shoutmon DX, and when digivolving, advance. And advance is the new keyword that we're getting in BT5. So just like in Chaosmon, how you could swing with it still, that's basically what this is doing. If you digivolve into it, you get to immediately swing, but it's a little bit better than Chaosmon, because Chaosmon had to attack your opponent's Digimon, whereas this, you can attack the Digimon, you can attack, security, you can swing for game, that sort of thing. Just very, very powerful advances. Also, he can Digivolve onto level 6s, so you can just keep going Shoutmon on top of Shoutmon on top of Shoutmon, and yeah, very, very cool guy here. So when digivolving, you may place one red Digimon card from your hand at the top of this Digimon's Digivolution cards. That's really cool, because like with Red Ragna kind of did that same thing. He gave himself an extra inheritable. If you had the red one, you wanted to put the black one under him to give him blocker, that sort of thing. Or if you had the black one, you want to put the red one for piercing. He's basically doing the same thing, except a little bit more diverse. You get to put any red Digimon underneath him, which really opens up the door, because if you need a Greymon, a level 4 Greymon for that security attack +1, you can slide that sucker in there. Like, that's very, very cool. Say you already had a Greymon +1 and you went all the way up into this Shoutmon, you can put another Greymon with security attack +1 underneath him to really just, double dip on that security attack bonuses, Lots of different stuff. In my video from earlier this week, I talked about Diaboromon. Diaboromon a really cool tech in this because red doesn't have a lot of piercing, and being able to get all this massive security attack and DP and just ready to just run into security, because that's what red likes to do, right? They get a lot of security attack, and then they just like to punch for 5 security in one go. I mean, they are like the original OTK deck. But the problem is, one blocker or anything like that, they don't have a whole lot of utility like other colors do. But giving themselves piercing is a good way to get over that. As well as you can just clear something off your opponent's field. Anything that they've got suspended that you just need to take care of, just go ahead and run it right over with shoutmon, with the piercing underneath from the Diaboromon, as well as, all the nice inheritables that you're getting. You've got the Omni shoutmon, again, security attack +1. That's another source for security attack +1. Also, you can jump straight into him on top of your shoutmon, so skip the level 4 altogether if you need to. Shoutmon is just like in Ragna, where you have your rookie, you're on play, reveal 5, add 1 Digimon with shoutmon in its name, and 1 Digimon card with advance. What I like about this is, instead of it only being whatever your biggest heavy hitter is, this is anything with advance. So, your shoutmon here, you can add that, your shoutmon DX, that'll get you there, as well as the Z greymon, which is kind of like another shoutmon here. It's a same basic concept. It's another level 6 mega. This will be your second mega for the deck, basically, and he has advance. So you can add either of these two off of that shoutmon, but it doesn't stop there. The new level 7 for the deck is the new Omnimon, who also has advance. So unlike Red Ragna, or Ragna in general, you could only add Ragna as the second target, whereas this one, it's any shoutmon and anything with advance. So you get to get 2 cards, and that second one is very open to anything with advance. So you can also pick up the Omnimon if you've already got the shoutmon, or say Omnimon is just the only thing that gets revealed with advance. You don't miss out on picking it up with that. And so it's just a great combination. This Omnimon works so well with the shoutmon deck, because he's going to get all those inheritables too. All those inheritables that shoutmon had, this Omnimon is going to get him. That security attack +1, because he's got advance, got it covered. He's got all the tools. He's only a 4 cost, but again, 4 cost with advance, that's all you need. You can still, you've got the Diaboromon, you can still get the piercing off, you can still swing for game, all kinds of great stuff like that. As well as he's just, an awesome card, because you can keep him on field. So he's basically just like the Chaosmon was, except just a little bit different. So when Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon, same thing, and then advanced, so you can still swing. So his advance is a little bit better than Chaosmon. Also, in addition to that, so he's even better than Chaosmon. Also, he's 2 memory cheaper than that Chaosmon was. All turns, if an opponent's effect would delete this Digimon or return it to the owner's hand or deck, you may prevent it from leaving play by trashing a level 6 Digimon in this Digimon Digivolution's cards. Especially if you went on top of him, or on top of a shoutmon DX, right? Then however many level 6s he's got underneath him, so you've got multiple uses of that Omnimon with this shoutmon. So yeah, shoutmon, super cool red deck. Definitely, it was in the meta a little bit in Japan. It was there at the initial launch of BT5. It actually was a pretty formidable deck, and I think it will be here too. I think it's got a lot of potential. Really powerful. It's just Red Ragna is already doing well here, and this is just a better way to play Red Ragna. But while we're on the topic of red, yes, we have the Agumon package here, right? So we've got the new tamers for BT5 that are really good, the white tamers here. So Nokia here, on play, you may play 1 Agumon or Gabumon from your hand without paying its memory cost. That's cool. Also, you get the on-play effects of those Agumons, which we'll cover in a second. Also, when Digivolving one of your Digimon into a Digimon card with Greymon, Garurumon, or Omnimon in its name, you may suspend this tamer to reduce the memory cost by 1. So all of those, before you would have the Greymons that were two cost evolutions. You wanted the 1 cost evolutions, but a 2 cost for a security attack +1. You'll take it, right? she helps cut down and digivolving into these greymons more efficiently, as well as, War Greymon. So if you even look back to all the way back to the starter deck, War Greymon that had all that security attack potential, but he was a 4 cost. That was just way too steep. That 4 cost evolution and not being able to get guarantee a swing that turn. With Nokia on the field, you can reduce it down to 3, and being at 3 memory at the start of your turn is a lot easier because of Memory Fixer. Also, we have the new Ty and Matt combo tamers. Is where we start seeing a lot of these guys. If your opponent has a level 6 or higher Digimon in play, gain 2 memory. Again, he's on par with a Memory Fixer, taking you from 1 to 3, or just even better than a Memory Fixer, potentially. It's not a guaranteed, but still very, very powerful, especially in this format, because pretty much all deck strategies at this point are just go big or go home. You're going into megas in every single color in this game. Rookie Rush is kind of really going to start falling off in this format. It's a lot easier to kill and stop rookies just in general in this game now. Also, give your Omnimon security attack +1 is kind of neat. So what we're doing is we're having these Greymon decks, and it's got a lot of potential, but there is one caveat to that. We need the red starter deck as well, because it's got some nice additions that you're going to want to have for Greymon, particularly the Geo Greymon. It's just another security Greymon like we've had already, but also on play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 DP or less. That's really cool. It's basically just like the other security Greymon, except he's got an on play effect, which makes him even better. We got another Agumon in the deck. This one gives a plus 2,000 DP if we're attacking a player. So if we're swinging into security, that was always kind of a, an iffy thing for Greymon, especially the BT1 Greymon. Cut off all options. That's great. The only thing we got to worry about is swinging into something big. Well, now we've got more ways to get more DP buffs. So we had the one Agumon that gave the 1,000. This one gives 2,000 DP buff. So that's pretty major. We're going to get some really nice things with this. This will come out during BT5. Okay, before BT6 arrives, we will get these decks. So just be on the lookout for these. They're really going to help make the BT5 decks a good bit better. The blue and red, at least. And this was the other Agumon I was talking about. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon with Greymon in its name, and 1 Digimon card with Omnimon in its name from among them to your hand. Not quite as good as the shoutmon is, but again, you're not going to be using a lot of the the shoutmon megas with this Agumon. You're going to be playing Greymons, right? That's the whole point of the deck, is to play Agumons and Greymons and just go ham with just those guys. Now we're jumping on to blue. I know red took a little long. It had two different decks, but blue here, just the one new deck, and that's going to be for the hexblaumon here. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I got really excited when they first did this reveal for BT6 for Japan, way back when. It's like 6 months ago. I got really excited. I think this was like the first super rare they have revealed. But when attacking, trash the bottom 2 Digivolution cards of one of your opponent's Digimon. Then, if your opponent has a Digimon with no Digivolution cards, this Digimon gains jamming. That's such a blue card, right? I mean, blue just through and through. Jamming, that is such a blue thing that they love to do. I mean, Imperiojimon, right? Jamming, lots of different jamming. Even Ulforce, Ulforce had jamming. So hexblaumon is just right on par with that. Also, he's able to help set himself up to make sure he can trigger that by his own effect, trashing Digivolution sources, so to help guarantee that he will have the jamming live. Also, probably one of the most broken abilities in this game, but all turns, all of your opponent's Digimon without Digivolution cards can't attack or block. So, Rookie Rush, yeah, goodbye Rookie Rush. If you're playing this deck and anyone brings Rookie Rush against you, you just win. I mean, really, that's it. You just win, because they're not going to be able to do hardly anything. Now, granted, hexblaumon isn't necessarily like way high on the tier level of competitive. He is still I think he's definitely at least a tier 2 strategy for sure. He's got a lot of potential. Not overly heavy costed either for a level 6. And one of the reasons I say that is because of its rookie form here, it's inheritable once per turn. When you trash a Digivolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon, gain 1 memory. So in a way, this guy reduces the evolution cost, right, of anything that goes on top of him. Well, really anything in general, even if you play other cards that trash Digivolution sources. But particularly, we're just looking at his evolution line here. The level 4, when Digivolving, trash 2 Digivolution cards at the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon. So effectively making his evolution cost a 1 cost evolution for blue. Going into the level 5 here, oh, not that one. This one here, the level 5 version, when Digivolving, trash 1 Digivolution card from the bottom of all of your opponent's Digimon. What's really nice about that one is that one can potentially make the hexblaumon super live, because then nothing can attack. If the level 5 can clear all your opponent's Digivolution sources, wow, because that would be crazy with the hexblaumon here. That would be really, really cool. But you see what I mean? Basically they reduce themselves. So even your level 4 is a 1 cost. Your level 5 is a 2 cost. Your level 6 is a 2 cost evolution with that rookie. That's powerful. That in itself is just powerful, and just cut away everything else, and already doing really, really good for the strategy. Just being able to be super memory efficient like that all the way, as well as just nice inheritables here. The level 5 gets security attack +1, with no Digivolution sources, just like most of these strategies. And then, of course, the big boy himself there with the nice, just shut down your opponent. So definitely some good potential in this deck. All right, now we're on to yellow. And yellow, I will just be very open about it. Yellow is probably going to be the best deck. Again, same as it was in BT4, even before that in 1.5 when we had Shine Greymon. Yellow's been, it got just absolutely hated on in 1.0, but ever since then, Yellow has been dominating. Ever since then, literally 1.5 and on, Yellow has been dominating, and it's not going to get any different. Even in BT6, Yellow is still very, very good because it gets more great support. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to try to undersell it either. It's a very good deck. If you look at the results from Japan when BT5 came out, Yellow was on a whole nother class. I mean, above the others. I mean, you take all the other decks, all the other colors combined would equal the amount of wins that Yellow had on its own. That's kind of bad. I'm so surprised we actually haven't seen any sort of hit on this. I think that the only thing is nothing is really broken. It's just good at what it does. Lordknightmon is kind of a big culprit, though. When attacking, you may play a yellow level 3 Digimon card or a yellow Digimon card with Warrior in its type from your hand without paying its memory cost. Just anything with Warrior, you just get a play for free. Now, this is a Holy Warrior, so it's not actually a Warrior, so you can't play a Lordknightmon with a Lordknightmon. Thank God. But combine this with like an Angelomon, that's going to give you 2 things that you can play from hand. Just very, very efficient. Also, all turns for each of your other Digimon card you have in play, this Digimon gets 1000 DP. That's pretty nice. It's on both players' turns, which is kind of a surprise. I'm honestly super surprised it's on both players' turns. So very easily he can be on par with a Omnimon. I mean, yeah, that's pretty rough. It only takes 3 others to be on par with the new Omnimon that everyone's going to be playing. So it doesn't take much, especially when you're playing 2 from hand for free, potentially, when you swing with the Lordknightmon. Yeah, that's pretty rough. But, like, what's it working with, right? What are its toolboxes here? So Knightmon, of course, is, like, the first go-to. On play, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4,000 DP for the turn. So Knightmon is just kind of, in a way, a little bit better than the Wargreymon that we had in BT4. This, you just get a hard play it and boom, minus 4,000. Especially if you can start playing it for free with the Lordknightmon. Makes it even more terrifying. Yeah, just something else to have to worry about here. And you can still combine it with a Wargreymon, right? You can still run Wargreymon. It's not like Wargreymon disappeared. Just Knightmon is going to be probably your 4 of, for sure. And you'll probably cut down on the War Growlmons, I would guess, either to 2 or 1, because you're also going to have your Angewomons in there as well. Yeah, so that's pretty rough. And then just taking it down to level 4 here, another warrior that you're going to be able to play is Gladiamon, and on play, so this is basically kind of like TK. On play, look at your security stack. You may reveal 1 Digimon card with Warrior or Holy Warrior, so there's your Lord-Knightmon fetcher, in its type from among them, and add it to your hand, then recovery +1. Yeah, that's basically just your TK that you can just play for free with Lord-Knightmon. So you'd always play the TK because you'd always need to pull anything important out of your security. You're still going to play TK also, so you're going to have multiple ways to dig through your security and get out exactly what you need. It's almost like a search in a way, because like imagine revealing the top 5 cards of your deck, picking anything that you want, right? And that's kind of what these guys are doing. All right, and next we got Kotemon here. Not a warrior, but it is a level 3, so you're going to get to play it for free, either with the Lord-Knightmon or with the Angewomon. Also going to work with this. On play, reveal 5 cards from the top of your deck. Add up to 2 yellow Digimon cards with Warrior or Holy Warrior in their types among them to your hand. Wow, it's like I just talked about that. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So again, on play, at 3 cost, I mean, that's a really good. I mean, we're talking on par with the shoutmons and the agumons that we got. So yellow gets one of these also. It just gets to and add up to 2. So very, very good card here. A little more restrictive, but at the same time, still very, very good. But the worst part is this dang Starmons. So on play, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 1,000 DP for the turn. For each Digimon you have in play. It took me a couple times whenever I read this. I was like, I don't get why everyone's like going crazy and, you know, calling it like Star-Lord, right? Why is it the Star-Lord, right? Because Lord-Knightmon, okay, I get the Lord. And then combine that with Starmon. It took me so many reads, I don't know why, for each Digimon you have in play. So you have Lord-Knightmon. Lord-Knightmon gets to play something free for hand, and then something else free for hand with the Angewomon. So that's 3 that you're going to have on field right there. And more than likely, you're going to have more than that on field. So you're just hard playing a Starmon and getting this crazy DP reduction. But you don't even have to just do the 1. What if you still need to pass your turn, right? Just hard play another. You don't have to combine it with Lord-Knightmon or with Angewomon to get this crazy ability. You can just play it whenever. It's just a rookie. It's just a 3 play cost rookie that you can do some crazy minus DP. Yeah, what an insane card. I mean, also just looking over all the other great cards that we had in BT4, that all the rookies that Yellow was playing for free anyway, the Pulsemon promo, that thing is absolutely absurd. Not only that, though, you know, we have Lucymon for the recovery. That's a really powerful play. Lots of great stuff. Bushi Agumon just getting to swing for free. Okay, so I did have to look it up right then. Bushi Agumon does not have Warrior. Thank God. Just, it's already really good. Could you imagine playing 2 Bushi Agumons? Yikes. Already, I mean, the potential is there. You can still play a rookie for free, but oh my God, just that would have been nuts. So yeah, yellow is going to have all of its DP reduction abilities that it had before. Maybe a little bit less if you want to play War Greymon or /Angemon. You know, you got the options there. Mastymon is still a great contender here. You get to bring it out of bring something out of trash, level 4 or less. Bring back a Starmon for, you know, another hit. You know, they're lots of open possibilities for what other megas you want to run in this. In BT6, it's pretty much sealed up with Dynasmon, but until we get to BT6, the options are going to be pretty open on your other mega, so just keep that in mind. The deck has its main strategy, but it also has a little bit of an open flex spot on how do you want to run the rest of it. Do you want to run like the Salamon and the Gatomon for when you swing, you know, you reduce the DP. We also have the new Pikmon here, which, you know, is just like Koromon, basically, just a little bit different. Maybe easier to actually get live here, just if you have 3 or more Digimon when attacking minus 1,000. So, and you combine that with the Salamon and the Gatomon and the Angewomon and the Lord-Knightmon. Swing once, drop a Starmon, drop something else. Yellow's going to be rough, guys. Okay, let's get away from yellow. Let's look at green now. Unfortunately, green doesn't have any new big major strategies. If you look at its section is actually the smallest out of all the colors on what it gets. Just kind of looking at our level 6s here. Boncho Lilymon, while a cool looking card, I really love the Boncho just kind of line of all the Bonchos. They all just have a really cool like vibe to them. I really dig it. But on deletion, already not a fan. On a mega, right? Particularly on deletion on a mega, return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of its owner's deck. That's it. That's all you got for me. I get deleted. My mega that I had to digivolve up into gets deleted. Not really feeling it. We'll hold that one for last because that's kind of the best one. Rosemon, another Rosemon here. They love their waifus in this. Anyone with big boobs, they've got to make a card every set for them. But main, Digiburst 3, okay. All of your Digimon with Digiburst gain security attack +1. That's kind of interesting. There's not a whole lot of Digiburst, though, that's really good. You've got the Lilamon for 5s, and then your 6s are all good. But that's about it. There's not really any good level 4s or other good level 5s that are worth running just for this one strategy. I just don't think it's quite worth it. Not terrible, but just not amazing. If it was less restrictive to Digiburst, if it was more open, I mean, just even if it was just give all your level 6 and higher security attack +1, I'd be okay with that. I'd be more okay with it at least. Or level 5 and higher, anything. Just Digiburst is really restrictive. We got another Argomon. Honestly, I love this artwork. The colors on it just really pop. That purple and green combination looks so good. Digivolution cost of 4, a little steep. Digisorption 2, okay, so we can reduce it down to 2. Not too bad. When digivolving, suspend all of your opponent's tamers. Interesting. All turns, all of your opponent's tamers can't unsuspend. That's not like on the following turn or anything. That's just forever. So he just shuts down tamers. And I will say that this set has some really nice tamers. A lot more tamers are going to be used, especially stuff like Nokia, as well as the one that shuts down rookies. So kind of interesting Digimon for sure. But again, I don't know if he's really worth it. Like, once he's on field, that's kind of cool, but that's my mega, and that's all my mega can do. It feels kind of bad. I wish I had this on like a lower evolution chain where I didn't have to go so far up into a mega. I don't really want to lose him once he gets on the field. All right, and our last mega here is going to be Rafflesiamon. And so it can digivolve on top of other level 6s, which is kind of cool. For a 1 cost, not too bad. Or just a regular level, or a 3 cost is not too bad either. Digiburst 2, all of your Digimon gain 2,000 DP for the turn. Okay, kind of interesting. Potentially can give them all 4,000. That's pretty solid. Your turn, once per turn, when your Digimon uses Digiburst, one of your opponent's Digimon cannot attack or block until the end of your opponent's next turn. So that's really kind of cool. That's a good control strategy. Green loves control strategies. I mean, that's just really cool because it's on your turn and anytime you use a Digiburst. So not just this one. This one can enable it for itself, which is nice. It kind of pseudo Puppetmon in a way, but not really, because you can just go into this, make something can't attack or block, and then just start swinging. It's a really good enabler for some strategies, I think. Just being able to turn off blockers, that sort of thing, and just kind of start swinging like crazy. Gives green some good aggro potential that's not just OTK. And just to finish up the green here while my battery's charging on my camera, we've got a couple neat additions, and this is what's really going to improve green. And that's just with the support that we're getting here. So, Weedmon, okay, we get basically a new Vegiemon, 1 cost evolution, 4 play cost, pretty much Vegiemon right there, but in this inheritable, when this Digimon triggers Digiburst, and trashes this card, gain 1 memory. Oh my god, that's so good. Green is all about digibursting right now, and green OTK is probably going to be the one deck that's really going to be able to stand the test of time. What I mean by that is just transitioning from one set into another set. Most decks often don't survive the transition. New decks just completely take over, and all the previous set decks, you lose like half your cards, and you get all these new cards. Like, look at Yellow. Yellow is going to replace, over half their deck with all these new cards. But Green, though, Green doesn't really have a whole lot that's changing out. The thing is, OTK Green really started to shine in Japan at the end of BT4 and beginning of BT5 because it got the promo Palmon, and that's what really made it good. So in BT4, for English players, we got the Palmon just right from the beginning. So we're getting some extra longevity out of Green OTK, and Weedmon is just a great addition to that deck because we just get free memory from digibursting it away. So if you have multiple Weedmons, underneath different things, you can, every time you digiburst it away, you're going to get that free memory back. Just very, very good. Also, if you have, it's a little bit of a stretch, but something like a Nidhoggmon that's going to digiburst everything away on Digivolve, normally you're going to pass turn when you do that with Nidhoggmon. Weedmon here at least has the potential to bring it back to your turn or to help keep it on your turn either way. So definitely loving Weedmon just for the great addition to Green. He's just going to be really good in a lot of different Green decks. And the other nice addition that we're getting is a new Palmon. And this is just because on deletion, place one Palmon from your trash to the bottom of one of your green Digimon Digivolution cards. So the promo Palmon that gives jamming when you digiburst it away, basically this Palmon is just going to make that live again for you, and that's just really powerful. You're just getting to help recycle. So if you don't actually get that really nice play off early in the game with the Palmon, just because you didn't draw into the OTK strategy, completely, this is going to help make sure that you can still get into it through other ways other than just drawing into one of your three other Palmons. This is going to help just open the deck up to having more copies of the promo Palmon. Also kind of nice just because that dang promo Palmon is still fairly expensive. So this is just going to help, if you don't have a full playset of those others, help make the deck more consistent until you can get a playset of them. So definitely loving Palmon, a great include in the new strategies. Weedmon probably still the best because he's going to be useful in way more decks, but Palmon in the OTK deck is still going to be just basically equally as powerful. Okay, got a little bit of charge on the battery. Hopefully we can close this out here. Black is next here, and one of the things that's really started to shine a little bit towards the end of BT4, but now definitely with BT5, is the D-brigade decks. Yeah, so Commandramon. We're getting more Commandramons now. Black is getting another rookie blocker, zero cost evolution to go with the Gatsumon, a great opener here to Digivolve with. We're just getting more D-brigade support, which they desperately really love, because that's whole D-brigade stuff is they get to just keep replacing themselves as they get destroyed. So with the Tankmon and then the Commandramon and just all of that just kind of coming together in now a big super deck, and just the consistency on D-brigade is going to be really, really nice. It's almost like a Rookie Rush black deck. Believe it or not, yeah, it's a thing. This is a full-on actual strategy that is a fairly good contender in the meta. It did decently okay in Japan. Unfortunately, black has never been incredible. It's barely been mediocre. Okay, I'll be completely honest. Black War Greymon OTK there at the end of BT4, kind of neat. But this is really nice just because you may return up to 5 D-brigade type Digimon cards from your trash to the top of your deck in any order. Gain 2 memory for each card returned this way. So just getting more targets for this is just going to make this guy even better. So you can definitely capitalize on that. 3 play cost with Rush for a level 6. What? Yeah, that's how much potential this has, and just being able to use stuff like Tankdramon here that just keeps replacing your D-brigade as they get destroyed. So very, very powerful potential black combos now, just more consistent now with BT5. Okay, now we're going into purple. And purple, I'm pretty excited about. Purple has a lot of good potential, and part of that reason is going to be because of Zwart. Omnimon Zwart here is just in crazy good enabler for purple. When digivolving, trash the top 3 cards of your deck, which purple likes to do. They like to fill up their trash to activate cards. Then you may play up to 2 black or purple Digimon cards that have a play cost of 8 or less from your trash without paying their memory cost. And it clearly says, or lack thereof, but you get your on-play cost. So Chimeramon, for starters, like getting to play a Chimeramon for free and getting to use its pop ability is really, really good. Also, when attacking, you may return 1 level 6 Digimon card from this Digimon's Digivolution cards to your hand to delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon that has a play cost of 12 or less. So that's really, really good. The big popular combo that everyone's talking about is the Lilithmon loop, right? And that's where you're digivolving into Lilithmon. You're able to grab back, or even beforehand, you can play options like Jack Raid to give you memory. Go into the Lilith. Lilithmon will give you that Jack Raid right back. Play the Jack Raid again, get the 2 memory from her ability as well as the next one, and then you can use the this option card that we're getting, the Mega Digimon Fusion. The next time, and it's a 0 cost by the way, option card here. The next time one of your Digimon digivolves from level 6 to 7, so Zwart, this turn reduce the cost of the Digivolution by 6, so making his Digivolution free. At the end of the turn, return the Digimon that digivolved with this effect to the bottom of the owner's deck. So you can essentially just keep looping this combo. So you can go into the Lilithmon. Lilithmon gives you more memory. Go into the Zwart on top of her, which allows you to get a 5 back on field. So swing with the Zwart now. Return the Lilith to hand. Then put the Lilithmon right back on top of the level 5 that Zwart brought out, right? And you just kind of get to keep doing this combo, assuming you have the pieces too. It takes a decent amount of setup to get this off, but definitely one of the highlights for purple, one of the new decks that people are definitely going to be interested in. But also we have the new Chaos Gallantmon. I'll at least get the regular art. Really cool card. Gallantmon already is a fan favorite, and having like a Dark Shadow version of that is awesome. I mean, just think of Shadow from the Hedgehog, and he's already almost as popular as Sonic. So it's kind of like the same premise here. When digivolving, you may delete one of your other Digimon to delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon. So very, very, very similar to what we were just talking about with Chimeramon. Works, very similarly. Also, but this is on Digivolve, so it's only a 4 evolution cost rather than the hard play cost, which is 7, I believe, on Chimeramon. But your turn, once per turn, when your other Digimon is deleted, by his own effect even, so you can trigger your second ability with your first ability, you may play 1 purple level 3 Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. You don't get any on-play effects with this one, though. Zwart you do, this one you don't. But it's so great because you go Chaos Gallantmon, pop a rookie, and then bring the rookie right back that you just popped. And so you basically aren't losing any value at all. But what's nice is the Gilmon here on deletion, if this card was deleted by an effect, gain 1 memory. You see what they kind of did there? Sure, for evolution cost, kind of expensive, right? Normally, yeah, it's a little pricey. But you combine it with Gallantmon's ability with the Gilmon, who is the rookie form of Gallantmon, it essentially makes his evolution cost 3. And it's just a really cheeky way that they kind of did that, and I think it's really, really cool. But yeah, so we get lots of really good stuff here. The Black Growlmon that we're going to get, inheritable, your turn, once per turn. When your other Digimon is deleted, this Digimon gains security attack +1. Oh, so Gallantmon, again, triggering his own evolution lines, inheritables. Let's take a look at Black War Growlmon. This thing is super cool. Digiburst 3, okay, so you're going to get rid of your whole stack underneath. Play 1 purple level 3 Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. No on-play effects. You realize what they're kind of doing here, right? So Gilmon is going into Black Growlmon, and then Black Growlmon is going into Black War Growlmon. Black War Growlmon digiburst away, and you bring the Gilmon that was in his inheritables, you bring him back onto the field. So then when Chaos Gallantmon comes on top of the Black War Growlmon, you get to trigger the Chaos Gallantmon to pop the Guilmon that you just brought back with the Black War Growlmon. Also, the inheritable, when attacking, once per turn, you can delete one of your other Digimon to unsuspend this Digimon. So again, same kind of premises here. You know, you delete one of your own. Again, delete the Guilmon. That's a good target. And as well as other purples. There's lots of good purples that have great on-deletion effects. I'm just using it as an example because they all kind of play together really nicely. The whole evolution line for this is going to be super cool. But kind of staying right in this area, Megadramon, I talked about this in Cards to Get video earlier this week, but Megadramon for a regular old-fashioned Gallantmon deck is kind of an interesting take because he can Digivolve on top of red, so you can use him in a red deck. And when Digivolving, trash the top 5 cards of both players' decks. So he helps trigger all of your Guilmon, your red Guilmons, and you know your all that the whole in line there that he. You know, the War Growlmon, the Black War, or not Black War, the War Growlmon and the regular Growlmon, as well as the Gallantmon, needing trash in your opponent's trash to get their effects off. So Megadramon kind of just helps set up your plays for your Gallantmon, and then you can just crash him into something and bring out Gallantmon. Say your Gallantmon wasn't quite ready, your opponent didn't have enough in the trash yet, or you didn't have a tamer on play, you know, whatever. You didn't want to go into your Gallantmon just yet, so go into Megadramon first to help set up and make your regular Gallantmon live, and then just crash him and then bring out Gallantmon. So good old-fashioned Gallantmon got some really, really neat, awesome support. Also, if you're in the English format, there's a lot of security control. Yellow-red security control is huge. Gallantmon is a really nice counter to that whole strategy. You just keep trashing all of their security and never actually triggering anything in security. That is a good way to counter red-yellow security. And good old-fashioned just OG Gallantmon is kind of a good way to combat that. And he's got a nice new support that really plays well with that strategy. And then we're kind of coming back into to black here. I'm only going to cover this briefly. We've already talked about it a good bit, but the Diaboromon, we got new Diaboromon support that just makes it even better, more consistent. You're just going to throw this in with all the other Diaboromon stuff we've gotten. You know, the 1.0 Diaboromon, the super expensive now Diaboromon from the tournament packs. Basically, you finally have enough that just consistency in the deck is all going to come together now, and it's just going to work really nicely. As well as they got their level 7, which is Armageddonmon, has Rush, which is kind of neat, because when you're playing this card from your hand, you may delete one of your Diaboromon to reduce its play cost by 12. So you have a play cost of essentially 3, delete one of your Diaboromon tokens, your like 15 Diaboromon tokens that you have, and you get to play this guy for free. Well, not free, but for 3, and has Rush. That's really good. Also, this all turns, all level 7 Digimon do not activate their when Digivolving effects. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. That shuts down a lot of stuff. A lot of megas a lot of level 7s get shut down because of Armageddonmon. It is going to be a fairly expensive deck to play, though, so just be ready. It's got some good potential, and it's really, really neat. It doesn't, unfortunately, counter yellow, and yellow is kind of like the biggest threat, and I think that's what makes this, like, unfortunately not as great as you would hope, just because a lot of the decks that it should, in theory, be good against aren't the actual like big top tier meta decks. Even shoutmon, you know, is only a level 6 primarily just shoutmons is the only thing you got to worry about, and he doesn't do anything against that. He just shuts down basically all the different forms of Omnimon, Chaosmon, all the different combinations is what he stops, which are just nice little additions to decks and aren't really the focus of strategies anymore. And that's going to do it for what I think is going to be the nice big decks of this. I know this video is incredibly long, but definitely wanted to get it out there and just show everyone what there is to play. There's new stuff to play. We don't have to keep playing the same old stuff. There's a lot of new stuff to play. That's what I was saying. This video is going to be long just because there's so much to choose from. Is there other cards in here that are just incredible? Yeah, there's lots of options in here that are all super powerful. I didn't even touch X Antibody down here. Very, very powerful card. I didn't cover Takumi at all here. This is an insanely powerful card, but just covering the decks alone, this isn't like just a review cards and go on. This is just talking about the new decks that we're playing, and I think that there's going to be a whole lot more fun going on with BT5 than there was with BT4. BT4 was getting very stale very fast. I think BT5 is, while yes, we're going to have one good deck that's just going to be crazy powerful, I think there's going to be, beyond that, tons and tons and tons of great decks to play. Finally, we're going to have some good, like, diverse across the board decks to play, minus the one. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you would, please like the video and subscribe. Just a little bit of help goes a super long ways. It helps the channel out tremendously, gets my videos out there, gets them seen. And if you really want to support the channel, check out the links in the description below. I'll have a link for my Patreon, which is displayed right here. You can get access to my Discord server that I have, as well as you can get the memory markers that we've had. These are just a few of my favorites from the past that we've had. The current one, Impmon's baby, as well as Gabumon's baby as well, Sunomon and Yaomon. These guys are super adorable. I definitely love them so much. And every month a new one changes out, so make sure you check that out. As well as we have our new playmats. This is why I recreated this video. It's because our playmats are here finally, and they are super cool. I alternate between the black and white every single month for whoever wants to support this tier, as well as I have a tier just higher than that, so that way you don't also have to lose out on a memory marker. You can get both the memory marker and the playmat just in case you want both. Super awesome support from everyone that has supported in the past and who will support in the future. You guys are awesome. Also, if you want to check out my merch, my Teespring link is in the description below for that. We've got, you know, the shirts that I wear on the channel that has the logo across. I love when I see people representing my merch in public. It is like one of the coolest feelings I've ever had in my entire life. Very awesome. As well as phone cases for you people that love Digimon like so much like I do. A friend of mine custom made all these to fit these specific phone cases themselves, so the prices are a little bit higher just because I have to pay her back, as well as make a little tiny bit of profit because of how much unfortunately they take for their cut for Teespring. But like I said, if you can't do any of that, please just like the video and subscribe to the channel. Every time we hit a new mile marker for subscriptions, I give out free merch of all different types. 2000K, I think we're doing one of the playmat giveaways, so definitely be subscribed and ready for when that comes.